Welcome and good afternoon. Thank you all for joining our Making Private Networks Fast, Easy, and Profitable with Baicells Pente, and of course, Winncom Technologies. We are looking forward to an engaging conversation today with the ease of private networks, as well as a sneak peek of who Pente is and why we are excited to announce they are joining the Winncom family. Here to present today is Baicells Technology, is their channel manager, Eric Randall. We have Claudia, VP of Marketing, and Michael Wright, Head of Sales from Pente. And joining him from Winncom Technologies is our Business Development Manager, Mike Hughes. If anyone has any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to add them into the chat and they will be addressed. And thank you all for joining. Michael, you're up.
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Michael Wright. I am the Head of Sales for Pente Networks. And we're here to talk about our Pente Hypercore Cloud, which is really a solution that can really make private networks very fast and easy to deploy. So we're going to get into that a little bit, and feel free to ask some questions that we can take after that. So, really, why is private cellular, and why is it different than Wi-Fi, seems to be a question that we get a lot of time when we're introducing people to this technology. And there's really a number of key reasons. One is enhanced security. It's much more secure than Wi-Fi. SIM hardware encryption really makes it significantly more secure. It has a larger range. It propagates much further than Wi-Fi. One cellular access point can replace 12 Wi-Fi access points. A much lower latency for low latency applications. Very highly stable, and that's really because there's less interference. You're using CBRS spectrum, which is dedicated spectrum for your applications, which really makes for a very stable and no interference. And then there's some of the more technical things like network slicing capabilities and the ability to do true mobility between access points in a different way than you can do with Wi-Fi. Let's talk about how we are going to be doing it between Baicells and Pente, who are the folks we have on the call. We really do get it going very fast which is basically like a two-box solution, which feels more like a managed Wi-Fi type deployment than a very complicated private network deployment. Really what it starts is with your Baicell radios, which you'll be hanging in your environment that you're going to cover. And then that will be connected into our Hypercore Survivable Edge, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this presentation. That will automatically configure that Baicell radios, and it will also recognize the SIMs that you have put into your various UEs or CPEs, which might be cameras, might be tablets, might be automated vehicles. And once that local network is deployed, that Hypercore Survivable Edge will create an IPsec tunnel to an AWS instance, which will give an SI or service provider the ability to provision that network and assign all of those network elements to their customers for management. And once that network is built, then it will also generate a portal that you can hand to your customer who's going to be using that network that you just built for them. So it's really everything you need in a single two-box, Baicell hardware and Pente software to really get yourself up and going. And we'll get into some more details in the following slides. What is private network being used for right now? We threw up a couple use cases to just get everyone thinking about how they might be able to use this technology. There's the one that's very big right now is video security, things like facial recognition, as well as other security aspects like fire detection, gunshot detection, things along those lines. Private cellular allows you to deploy those cameras without cabling and not lose any of the latency or any of the security that you have with a wired, so the cost is much lower. There's other things like real-time tracking location systems for tracking assets in, say, a warehouse environment. Things like point-of-sale systems and inventory systems, right? We've all been to a football game, baseball game. A lot of that point-of-sale right now is very critical to the profitability of those locations. If your scanner doesn't work and that $14 beer doesn't get sold, that impacts the bottom line. So putting those POS systems on private networks is very attractive. IoT sensors, and some other things like to push to talk in emergency communications. And then there's also murderous autonomous vehicles, um, which we put that one in just to see if everyone was paying attention. We obviously do not support murderous autonomous vehicles. So let's move to the next one. Pente makes it easy is really the bottom line here. What we have is both a LT and 5G core and orchestration platform that we call the HyperCore Cloud. Now, it's really feels like a true IT solution and something that you can deploy in a matter of minutes without needing to be a telco expert. And that's really that's something that is very much in demand right now. So, what is the HyperCore Cloud? It's an IT-friendly private wireless core and orchestration platform. It's designed for IT. So if either you or your customer is familiar with the basic principles of IT systems, routing, quality of service, firewalling, etc., you'll be very familiar interacting with your private network using the Pente HyperCore Cloud. There's no telco expertise needed. It's out of the box functional, really operational in minutes. Both Baicells and Pente have been working together very closely to integrate our platforms. Engineers at Baicells right now are testing each other to see who can turn it up the fastest. I think right now the fastest turn up is 7 minutes from the time we take a HyperCore Edge out of the box and plug it into a radio infrastructure and have it up and running. It really instantly integrates with enterprise IP networks, which really makes it very easy for implementation and scaling. Right? You can start, quite small, one edge, a couple Baicell radios to really get yourself familiar with using this technology. But there are customers of Pente's that have a million plus SIMs on the platform. So it can start really small and it really expands quite large and in a very elastic way. It's an open architecture, so it works with any radio. But with Baicells, we are even tighter integrated in that we integrate many more of the full feature set of Baicell into our platform. We also have a very low investment for the end user. This is a pre-integrated package. You really only have to buy Baicell radios and the Pente HyperCore Edge to be able to turn up your first private network so that you can align your revenue with your network turn up, because we're able to have that network up the same day that you deploy our software. So there's really no upfront investment from a software point of view. So it makes it really the fastest time to revenue for system integrators and managed service providers. And it really is plug and play, right? You get your Baicell eNode or gNode B, connect to the Pente Edge to the RAN and cloud, put your SIMs in your various devices, and then you're going to be generating a single pane of glass to analyze, monitor, and provision devices remotely as the operator. And then you get a screen that either your customer or you can easily integrate that network that was just provided into IT services, and we can also connect to public networks for public-private roaming. So how do we accomplish this, right? Because what we've done in a single software package is give you everything you need to turn up a system. In order to play in the 3GPP cellular game, you need a core and edge. That we have a very stable core, and that is tested with some of the biggest vendors in the United States and globally. Companies like Meta, AT&T, Telefonica, to name a few. Are deployed this with great success and in very challenging environments. RAN monitoring, it gives you the ability to monitor your RAN right out of that same software package. We have a suite of end-to-end security that not only looks at the IT level security, but really protects against all the telco-specific attack vectors. There's things like IMSI sniffers, man-in-the-middle attacks, telco denial of service, a whole host of attack vectors that we have already thought of and protected against so that you can take action, you can notify and take action immediately should that happen to your network. And this is important because as we're trying to introduce this new technology, which we see as an IT service, CISOs are going to want to know about the security, and we have the right answer for them. SIM and IoT provisioning seems obvious, but with our platform, it's a two-click solution. You're clicking on the SIM in the platform, saying this is going to Winncom Technologies, and then you say, and it's a camera. And now that SIM policy has been applied. IT service integration, we talked about that, but there are things within this platform. We have 700 APIs natively out of the platform. We have a built-in vRouter that allows you to treat the entire network like a router. QoS, NATing, firewalling, VLAN tagging, all the things that IT folks are familiar with. NOC and analytics, we have multiple software probes throughout our entire software package that monitors all the way down to the device. So it'll pull information off of the device. It will monitor your RAN. It will monitor obviously our edge that's deployed, and give you a full suite of tools that you can use to monitor these network. It's multi-tenant management. So if you're an integrator or service provider, there's no limit to the number of customers that you can manage using this platform. And then we also, there we go. Then we also provide tools that allow you to stand this up as a service. We have CRM where you can natively capture customer information, so you can assign your edges, your radios, your SIMs to your customer, as well as security policies and et cetera. We also have a billing platform right out of the gate. So you don't, if you're getting new to this game, you can use our full OSS BSS capabilities to be able to bill directly out of the platform. We also have customized portals, and this is very important. These are portals that you can white label and provide to your customer so that they can interact with that network that you've just provided for them. And you can give them full access to that network if you feel like they're pro customers. If you feel like they're going to break something, you can just give them a dashboard that just allows them to see, are things green or red? Where's the data flowing? How are my SIMs doing, et cetera. But that gives you everything you need to stand up a network. And some of this is a little bit repetitive, but there are a few things here that I really like to highlight, which is the number of APIs for fast integration into multiple platforms is very important. We're also able to detect and provision new devices remotely, so that if you want to send SIMs or issue eSIMs right out of the platform to your customer and they plug it into the device, there's no field dispatch that needs to be done there. You can provision that remotely. So there's also we talked about reporting, the analytics, and this is really an infinitely scalable platform. And this is really what when I say it's a two-box solution, you have your one box is going to be your buy-sell or Baicells. And this is what we call our Pente Cloud Survivable Edge. And this is an on-premise edge compute platform that is cloud controlled. And this is a full EPC or 5G core. This isn't a partial core. This isn't just some elements. It's all the components of an EPC 4G or 5G core. It allows you to auto configure your RAN. It allows you to auto authenticate SIMs and eSIMs. And one of the other key features about this is a fully survivable box. So should you connect this to the cloud, provision it on a customer's site, connect it to applications that are being hosted locally or elsewhere, connecting it to a local ISP connection. Should you lose connection to the cloud, this is still survivable. It's its own network. When it's connected to the cloud, you can see all of your edges, all of your networks as one big, aggregate core, but each individual core can be its own independent and survivable network, which has a lot of use case implications, things like factories where you're going to want to build networks that are not connected to the internet, but only connected to local applications. That's a fantastic use case. And there's many more that leverage that survivability feature. And this is what we're showing here is your Edge Mini, which has about 1 gigabit of user plane traffic, which should handle many use cases. But also we know that some networks get big, right? We talked about some of our customers having 1 million plus SIMs. Then you're starting to move up to Edge Max and Edge Scale, which really gives you a really infinite scaling. And really, once it's up, all the customer needs is this one portal, right? They can see that network. their experience in that network day one when you plug this into your Baicells infrastructure. This portal that you give this to your customer can be customized with your branding, with your colors, all that you can do right out of your operator portal. Let me click on through. So I'm going to hand off to my friends at Baicells to talk a little bit about the integration work we're doing and how it benefits everyone on this call.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Michael. So everybody, I'm Eric Randall, the channel manager here at Baicells, and he discussed all of the software portion of it, that core that's really needed to get your own private LTE network up. I'm going to get into the RAN just a little bit. It's going to be a lot quicker than Michael there. So let's go ahead on to the next page, and we'll talk about what we're offering on the RAN side. So we have a series of products. It's our 430 series. It's the Nova 430i, the Nova 430e, and the Neutrino. The Neutrino is an indoor unit, and the other two units are outdoor units, one with an integrated antenna and one with external ports to where you can have your own antenna. Now, all of these products are truly plug and play. Simple PoE in all three of these, and you're up and running. So you take that connection from the Pente HyperCore box and you plug it directly into here, and you're up and running in no time at all. So what we offer is your indoor or outdoor. It's completely plug and play. PoE for very quick and easy installation. This is 2 carriers, so you can get up to 300 megabits per second, and we are fully 3GPP compatible, so you could bring your own device. And that's to the entire network, not just for our RAN. So whether you have an iPad, whether you have a 4G, 5G, a video camera, as long as it connects to these bands, you're up and running in no time at all. All right, my portion is quick and easy. That is the RAN solution, very quick. I'm going to hand it over to Michael Hughes over at Winncom now.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Michael. Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Hughes with Winncom Technologies. We're a value-added distributor, and I just wanted to provide an attestament to how easy both of these solutions are and how easy both of them are together. I've installed both of them. I installed and configure and set up lots of Baicells radios. Truly, honestly, super easy to do. I have set up the Pente HyperEdge actually in the Winncom lab. It's super easy. I'm totally unbiased. It's very easy to do. I probably did it in less than 15 minutes. The other part, it probably took longer for setting both of those up in our lab. It probably took longer to get the SAS grant on the Baicells equipment than it did setting the whole network up. My other attestment to that is that right now for the seminar and for my daily work at my home office, my laptop is connected to a BEC MX240 that has a Penta SIM card in it. That's connected over CBRS to a Baicells Nova 227, which then is attached back to our Winncom Pente HyperEdge that's actually in Ohio. And that's how I do my daily work, and that's how I'm talking to you right now. So if you guys want, I would invite you to contact your rep at Winncom, and we can go over how this works. I can go over what it looks like on both the Baicells and the Penta side, if you're interested in that. The other thing is that Winncom's obviously partnering with Penta and Baicells, and we're putting together a starter bundle kit to get you going. There's an indoor kit and an outdoor kit. They're very similar. This just an indoor Baicells radio, an outdoor Baicells radio. It'll include one radio. It includes the Baicells CPE device, so that's the device that you're going to put your SIM card in, and then the Penta HyperEdge Mini Edge, a year subscription back to the portal, SIM cards, and everything you need to get going and try out this private LTE network. And I think so. Then the next question is how do you get it? And if someone can advance the slide there.
Yeah, there we go.
So to purchase this starter kit or to talk more about this solution with Pente and Baicells and Winncom, again, Winncom provides professional engineering services to go along with it. If you need help with your Baicells, if you need help with your Pente, I don't think you really will, but if you do need help, if you need help with coverage maps on your broadcast network through the Baicells radios, Winncom provides professional engineering services to help you with all of that. So if you're interested, there's a QR code if you're fast enough to grab that. Otherwise, there's our sales email contact that you can email to Winncom or call your Winncom rep.
Great.
And I think we're ready for questions if there are any.
Do we just answer everyone's questions comprehensively with our presentation, or anyone have any questions for us?
Please feel free to throw it into chat if you want. Maybe we could explain a little bit, maybe Michael Wright, share a little bit about the benefits that we're seeing from leveraging the starter kit, you know, and what it actually can be used for in terms of demonstrating to clients, bringing it on site, things like that.
Sure. So, you know, we really put this starter kit together for a couple reasons. You know, one is to take sort of the mystery and that surrounds a private network deployment for some folks, and really get you comfortable with the fact that, you know, if you can deploy Wi-Fi networks, you can deploy private networks, right? So part of this is to get you familiar with how easy Pente and Baicells have made the ability to deploy your own networks, as whether they're small or large. So really getting your hands-on experience is part of it. There's also, you know, putting it into your lab, right? Or whatever kind of experience center you might have with your company. Because you know, if you're deploying, you know, cameras, if you're deploying point of sale, you're going to want to test that out in a lab environment before you take it out to your customer, right? So as you start to put together your use cases, you can leverage this to test it. You know, is private network delivering on the promise for, you know, more easily deployed cameras? You know, does a private network do a better job of controlling autonomous vehicles, things like that? And then there's also as a sales tool, right? So in the same way we're talking to you and introducing to you how easy this is, nothing quite makes an impact with a customer like showing up with 2 boxes, you know, plugging them in together, connecting that to the internet, and then handing your customers tablets that are you know, showing browsing data, you know, Ookla tests, things like that they can walk to the other side of the parking lot and still maintain that kind of connection. It's that hands-on look and feel that you can give to a customer to get them believing about the power of the technology, and, you know, and then really get them thinking about the use cases that they may want to take advantage of with CBRS spectrum.
Thank you, Michael. There's a question from the group asking, has Pente been used for bonded 4G and 5G solutions? Which we know just recently even, yes, it has, but I don't know if you want to speak to it, Michael.
Yeah, well, so, you know, so we have both 5G and 4G and 5G cores right now. Right now, those are separate. Those are going to be separate edges, whether it be mini, max, or edge scale. In terms of our next release in June, we'll be able to have both 4G and 5G on the same edge. So the ability to you know, deploy them you know, at the same time, or to have a platform where you can start in a 4G environment and migrate into a 5G environment is something that we're going to make capable for you. So did that answer the question? I'm not sure who asked that one.
That was Joe Driscoll. And then we've got another question, and this is probably for the whole group here. What verticals are seeing the most activities and or success?
Sure. So, you know, what we're seeing, we're obviously seeing a lot of use cases in security because, quite frankly, there's just a lot of whether it be video, whether it be access pads, whether it be sensors, things along those lines that need a lot of devices. You know, deployed in a lot of kind of places where it gets hard to deliver or to cable out to. You don't want to dig up your parking lot, things along those lines. That's the use case that we're seeing a lot of right now. There are certain verticals that have adopted this as part of their technology stack. Areas like logistics. I was just out walking around some enormous warehouses in the Midwest where these are being deployed for a whole host of use cases. Automated vehicles, autonomous vehicles, being able to put motion sensors, things like that to make sure that people aren't walking in the way of a forklift area. You know, being able to take sensors that are on trucks for, you know, for logistics purposes. That's an area that is really starting to, or has already been adopting this in whole. Construction sites, remote mining and oil and gas type deployments, where you have a lot of health and safety concerns that these devices can connect to, and you have some very hostile environments for deploying RF. The propagation and the security really helps there. We're starting to see some adoption in the healthcare space because you're able to deploy these networks, take advantage of security, and not have to connect it to the internet, connecting it to a locally served app. So that really allows you to keep sensitive data within the walls of the hospital and in a very protected environment. So I don't know, Michael Hughes or
Yeah.
or,
So we've had a couple deployments in agriculture too, just for IoT devices that's out on in an agricultural environment and needing the bigger, the broader coverage that Wi-Fi would provide, and then the security that goes along with it. So yeah, I would add agriculture to that too.
Right.
And then just to follow up, I must have misread the question. Joe is actually asking about bonded cellular in terms of using private networks. And in fact, Joe, we were just, Pente was just at live NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters show, on the live view booth, actually showcasing how private networks can be an additional source to bond for video transport. We've also done some successful activities with other similar partners like Teradek. And I think we've had customers that have streamed everything from, and streamed for broadcast television, not just online, for the parades at Carnival in Rio. So it's not just CBRS in the United States. And I believe you'll be looking to see an announcement soon how we're going to be helping broadcasters reach audiences from the different conventions for election season, the Democratic National Convention and Republican National Convention, as well as other election and campaign activities. Sort of the idea of being able to create a temporary private network covering both indoor and outdoor areas for the sake of broadcast video. And any other questions?
All right, perfect. Thank you, everybody. Michael, that was a great presentation.
Great. Thanks, everyone. It's, you know, listen, we're excited about the partnership with Winncom and Baicells because it's our belief that, you know, anyone can deploy these networks. Let's take the mystery out of it. Let's take the complexity out of it, and let's all deploy a lot of networks together. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to present.